So you're probably going to do it a totally different way
Go.
than I did it.
Oh,
Hello,
You don't want to
everybody.
hear it because
I don't do it, so I'm just talking about it. So if you do this type of show, you're more than
It's the
welcome to.
greatest show in the world. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, then do it, John.
I'm
No,
on
all I
here.
did was go ahead and talk what you were talking.
Okay, and then you can add. That sounds good. Okay, so 5 appetizers in 15 minutes. So here's a little display of some of the recommendations. There's a baked brie. We did the apples and cranberry, but there's a lot of different toppings you can do. The olive tapenade. This is the 3-minute dip, and that's a veggie dip. And is that part of the
Veggie pizza. No.
No. Okay. So what is? Oh, the fifth one would be, you guys. Not that thing. That's a different one. Would be having a cream cheese or goat cheese with the raspberry habanero or the spicy pineapple rum sauce. Okay, so why would you offer this show? One of the things that I would, if I was host coaching or someone wanted to book a show with me, I mean, every time I get someone that says, oh, I just want to do appetizers, this is like the perfect show. And usually people are into appetizers if they are entertainers. So they would love, they want their group to be able to learn some new dips. Do you ever hear that when you're talking to some? I mean, there's that age group of women that, oh, we just want you to make a bunch of dips. So this would be the show to do for someone that likes that. If I was doing this particular type of cooking show, I would gear my presentation and the items that I would bring with me along the lines of entertaining, because obviously the group likes to get together for cards and dips and whatever. So you've got the garlic and brie baker and the gift value set that's incorporated with. You can definitely incorporate all the bamboo, the trifle bowl. You can have, you can even do the trifle bowl in maybe a little bit of a centerpiece, on your table and make it look festive, because lots of people don't know that it can be used also for a centerpiece as well as for serving. The stoneware, this piece works wonders for a group that likes to do a lot of appetizers and entertaining because of the dressed up look. Getting the items together, I guess that's, I would focus more on the gift sets that we have, the holiday gift sets, and, making the dip. We've got the spices on special for November, so being able to buy one and get one free. This show, believe it or not, you've got all your cutting tools that you can do, the crinkle cutter, the tapenade, and that's going to bring in your manual food processor, your food chopper, your cutting boards, your knives, in addition to all the entertaining pieces. I use the citrus press for that. I had herbs in there. Just this is my favorite recipe for this type of year, because when you bring it, or when you were talking to someone, you could say, I'd like to teach your group a recipe that they can learn, that they could use for Thanksgiving dinner. And so I love making this in November, and always use words at my show, like I expect everybody to have this on their display.
What is on the top? Is it apples and what?
Apples, cranberries, almonds, and then it's got a little bit of brown sugar, cinnamon, and a tablespoon of melted butter.
Wow.
And you just do that all in the manual food processor, and then you slice the brie. Now, when you're slicing the brie in half, you don't put the two cut sides together. You put one cut side up and one cut side this way, and then put it together. And I like to load it up with more than what the recipe calls for. And depending on the brie, sometimes it'll melt a little messy. And your other option is you can do it in here also, and then it's easier. But I like this because then they can
It's a nice presentation too.
Yeah.
And you can cut it easier, I think, too.
Like when I did this at my show yesterday, and it didn't melt like that. So you never know how it's going to melt. It depends on the oven, and it depends on the type of brie, because some are creamier than others. But once they start eating it, boy, they yum it up. So I don't know, John, if you have anything else that you want to add, I don't know.
I think the only thing you did
I did mine
different.
different. How I did mine was is that. Oh, please don't videotape me, Katie. I took all the products and put them on one table, and I took all the ingredients and put them on another. And the host had 10 people there, and I gave 2 people each a recipe. And it was a fun thing.
Yes.
They had to. I didn't tell them what the tools were. I didn't tell them what the ingredients were. They had to get them all and make the recipe. And at the end, there was like 1 can left of the Grand Round biscuits. And she came up to me and she's like, "Oh, well, there wasn't enough biscuits." I'm like, "It only called for 1 can." I said, "It called for 3." You know, and it was a blast.
What was the biscuits for?
It was the focaccia thing or whatever. It's in the recipes that I printed out over there, and it was a blast. It was fun, and that's what got Lisa.
Because that recipe wasn't on the materials that we
It
had.
should be on that one because that's the one Marie sent me.
Okay.
That's the one I did.
So the pull apart pizza.
Yeah, it was with the pepperoni and.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
love
that.
that.
I remember that
It was
recipe.
hilarious.
What is that cooked in?
It's cooked on the white stove.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But you can pretty much put together any appetizers
Right.
you want, but these are super, super
There's
quick.
15 packs there. There's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when I did the brie one time, it melted all over the place. It was disastrous. It was,
Yeah.
made me very unhappy.
Yeah, that's why it's nice to use the baker. But also, I think if it's warm when you start out, like if it's a little bit warmer, then it'll also melt, a little bit quicker. So,
Okay. Thank you, Tina. You're
Are you
welcome.
thinking of the
Now we're gonna
garlic
go right
bites?
over to our vendor fair, and Sarah